Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I did make a video the other day and I was talking about, this elder Jake who, was training me. Got like a couple weeks off, and I wanted to go and train, strength training or whatever. And this guy is basically like, we're friends, you know. I was looking at him like, you know, no, because I had a feeling, that me and him were gonna fall out, and it happened. It happened yesterday, funnily enough, and I wanted to go and go into the scriptures. Where is it? 2 Corinthians 6:14, and I saw a brother bring this out the other day. Let's see. This is 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness, and what concord have Yahushai with Baal, and what part have he that believeth with an infidel, and what agreement have the temple of Yahweh with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power, as Yahweh have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Wherefore, come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. So, from him saying certain things, I knew me and him was gonna fall out, man. But I was trying to do my strength training, but it's funny how you have plans, but we say when man makes plans, God laughs. So you have these plans, you're really meant to say Lord willing, because you never know what happened from day to day. And that video the brother brought up oil and water. You're completely separate. You can't mesh together, regardless. You might have similar properties. Oil is also a liquid and so is water, but it still don't mix. I like keeping fit, he likes keeping fit, but where I need we don't mix. And he was sick. He got something, and he said he had COVID. He texted me or whatever, and I returned the phone call. I was like, "Yeah, you cool?" And I was just, I was in a jovial mood. I had a little wine. I'm like, "Yo, how'd you get sick, man? You sex a woman you weren't supposed to." And he's got a woman, but I'm making joke. I'm just making light of the situation. And he's like, "No, like, I'm not a cheater. I'm not a cheater like you." And I was like, "Bro, like, what the hell are you talking about, bruv?" I was like, and I basically said I don't believe a man can cheat. Now, it's not prudent for a man to do certain things in this day and age, but I just hate that feminine spirit that's on Jacob, worshiping women. And this is a man where he's telling me, you know, um, he's beating up a man for putting hands on a woman. And I even brought out the other day, no man knows the way of a man and his maiden. So I'm looking at this guy like, yo, you're bugging, bruv. And he's like, well, why don't you believe that? So, at this point, I don't even care, because I've just gone into the scripture. I said, well, biblically speaking, people in the Bible, or patriarchs in the Bible, had more than one wife. I believe if you deal with a woman, you're supposed to be responsible for her. But I believe a man can have more than one woman. And he was just like, that's bullshit. And then he was just like, I don't believe in fiction and all of this stuff. So I'm real sensitive about two things, the scriptures and my son. So anything to do with either, the Lord and my child, that's it. The Lord comes before everything else. So when he started going into that, I'm like, yo, like at this point, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Like this is done. And I've let him speak, bring his opinion or whatever. And this guy is he's just basically saying the scriptures are bull crap. And I'm like, have you ever read the scriptures? You've never read the scriptures, but you're saying it's bull crap. Which don't make no sense to me, because you say you believe in the Lord, but you don't want to follow the Lord. You celebrate your birthday, you celebrate Christmas, you celebrate all of this, and this is a man where he's really double minded, but he's trying to make it seem as if I'm mentally unstable. And I'm like, you're talking. He even said, if you want to meet up, or I'm here tomorrow. trying to be all carnal. And I'm like, yo, I don't have an issue with you. I got stuff going on in my life. You said you said I was your friend the other day, and now we don't mix because I believe in the Lord and you don't. I'm just coming there for training. I'm not really trying to get too friendly with you. Is you just saying we're friends, and you know what I mean? And I'm the one who's mentally unstable. I'm looking at this guy, and I've actually broke down his behavior. And he said, "You've known me a bunch of 5 hours, and you say you know this about me. These times when I met him, he said, I'm analyzing you, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." And he don't realize, there's a saying, when you look into the abyss looks back. So if you're analyzing somebody, you meet somebody, you naturally analyze people, they're doing the same thing to you. So I'm like, you're a man that, where you phoned me the other day and you just said you stole it was dog food. And he was like, I don't know why I did it, I just did it. You're a man where you rob banks. Well, you used to when you was younger, but even now you say, well, you're a thief. I do this, I do that, but I have morals. You're a man where you say you won't sell me out for £1 million, but you sell me out for £1 billion. So a lot of the time when people speak, they expose themselves, just like I expose myself. If you talk long enough, that I believe in the scriptures. This is why, as I said before, unless people are in the scriptures, you really can't. And I don't talk about the scriptures with everybody. It just got to that point where I was just like, yo, like this guy, I can't actually be around this guy. This guy thinks he's so stable minded. You have a house that's given to you by the government. You don't work, but yet you think you're this upstanding guy, a member of the community. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't necessarily. There's people in the world who are worldly, and they're not necessarily bad people, but by the scriptures, they're evil, because you don't like order. You believe a woman is the same as a man. You don't believe and he was like, you're chauvinistic. And I'm like, I'm chauvinistic because I want to go and work while my wife stays at home and looks after the child. That's chauvinistic to you? And let's look into the word chauvinistic furthermore while we're at it. uh Chauvinism, because people love throwing this word around. Exaggerated or aggressive patriotism, excessive or prejudiced support of one's own cause, group, or sex. Now the Lord says, the flock of my sheep are men. And I believe it's a man's duty to protect women. I'm not saying a man should go around sleeping with different women. I believe when a man sleeps with a woman, he should be prepared to be responsible for her. So how the hell was that even chauvinism? Jake don't even know what the word means. You don't even and yeah. Let me get this scripture real quick, because and I was thinking about this the other day. This is I was working with one dude, and he went home and he said he had the best sleep ever. You know, and where is it? This is Ecclesiastes 5:12. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt, but those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he come forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and he shall take nothing of his labor which he may carry away in his hand. So, you're a man where you don't even believe that you should work. The guy's like, what, say 49? The elders, I know the elders are older than that. They have hoary heads. They still work. They're respectful men in their community, even though people say otherwise, because they believe in the scriptures. And the scriptures talk about, you shall be hated for my namesake. Because how do you not work, and yet you can claim or think you're a righteous person with morals as a man, and you're physically, the guy's strong as hell. For a 49-year-old, he's very strong. So he can go and work. He said, oh, I'm tired of that. I ain't doing that no more. But yet you have such high morals. And the scriptures really expose people, because I looked at this guy scripturally, and I knew to myself, I'm gonna fall out with this guy at some point. I just know it. But I just wanted my strength training, and it's making it clear to me at this point, that the Lord's telling me, if you have a feeling with something, just go with it, man. Don't It's not for you. I just went boxing. You know what I mean? you deal with people in a professional capacity. I go, I pay, I go home. I'm not trying to deal with all of that headache that comes with Jake, because Jake think he knows he knows something and he doesn't, and he was just saying all of this stuff that doesn't make sense. And this is Ecclesiastes 5:3. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. So you're gonna sit there, you're gonna say all of this stuff, and then when somebody asks you to elaborate, you can't elaborate. Yeah, I said, you called me a name. Like, even when I met him, he flicked my cap off my head, and he's older than me, so I just didn't even take it to mind. And he was like, "Oh, I did it on purpose to see how you react." you know, I might have gone into how much I dislike certain things, and his whole thing is, if you're not gonna do anything about it, then you're a pussy. As if I'm meant to put on a mask and go do something to certain people that I spoke to him about. So I'm looking at this guy like, yo, like you kind of tripping, like, you know what I mean? Because to me, revenge is the Lord, and I'm really supposed to wait on the Lord for certain things. So I can't go and do certain things, and Jake doesn't understand this. Jake will sit there, talk about the Lord, that he believes in God or whatever, and then will eat pork, will shave his face, will shave his beard, will shave his head, uh, doesn't read the scriptures, do everything against the scriptures, and then when you bring up the scriptures to show him how he's going off, he'll turn around and say it's a white man's book, it's fiction, it's not real. But then you believe in the Lord. So you believe in your own interpretation of the Lord. You don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe that God has set rules for men to follow. You just believe that if you're a good person and and you don't harm anyone to a certain degree, that makes you a good person, and it don't. I can be a good person, I don't harm anyone, and I go around, I'm having sex with other people's baby moms. It don't make me a good guy. You know what I mean? And I knew the guy worshiped women from when he told me, he was with a woman who had a child by a previous man. I would never do something like that. If I knew a woman had a child, I wouldn't get into a relationship with her. In a weak moment, I might, but I wouldn't get into a relationship with her. And even that, I shouldn't really do that. I don't really pursue other people's baby mothers. This is Proverbs 27. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. So I was like, yo, I'm going training, and the Lord had other plans. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. So this guy's a fool, because you're telling me I should pull up. As if I'm going to pull up and fight a 50-year-old. Yeah, and he might even kick my ass if the guy's in that good of a shape. You know what I mean? But it's just like, where's this like, if me and you disagree, then you go your way, I go my way. We don't need to pull up and fight. You're not Esau, you're not my enemy, you're not doing anything in my life. We had a disagreement, you go your way, I go mine. Jake just loves to take every variable and just dilute it to violence. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. See, you don't even realize Esau's put him in a trick box. You have these houses that Esau gives to people, but he gives it to you deceitfully, because a lot of the houses and flats that people get, they're not even freehold properties. Freehold is when you quote unquote own it in perpetuity. Short hold is you have a lease for 99 years. And he'll give you a discount on the house depending on how long you've lived in a house in the UK. But really and truly, the lease runs out. If you pass it to your child, they have to extend it. And if it's in a block of flats, you don't own the land that the block of flats are built on. So what happens if they then want to demolish the block of flats? They can just kick you out. You don't really have a right to that place. If everybody bought the flats in that place, the people that own the land can then turn around and say, well, you know what, yeah, let's give these people whatever, kick them out, rebuild it, and do it again, for argument's sakes. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. And if you're not going into the scriptures and giving counsel to people, it's not hearty counsel, it's just your opinion. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity, for better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. And this, when you're dealing with Jake in the world, and you can even show examples of how the society is literally being destroyed by Esau and the nigger woman, and he agreed with me to a degree. He said, yeah, the nigger woman's evil. His mother said, don't bring no bad head girl in, into my house, and I thought that was funny. So to a degree, he knows that these women are evil. He just doesn't want to do it because Esau's really worked into the mind of our people and our men, because it's like you don't want to call wickedness out for what it really is. You just want to do it, you know, um, half-heartedly. Like you know the world is wicked, society itself is wicked, but yet you praise the queen. You know that these people are thieves, and yet you'll sit there and say, well, we are not good people, so that excuses what Esau does. Like you talk to a lot of Jakes, and you really get to start thinking that these people, because they don't believe in the scriptures, it's like they don't have any answers for anything. I can go into the scriptures and say, well, these are the curses of the Lord, this, that. All of this stuff they think is just people are just naturally like this. They don't believe that the Lord is controlling all of this stuff. You see the world, these wars and stuff happening, and the scriptures talk about it. But these people don't believe it. They just, they it's like they have the blinders on, man. And for the sake of peace, it's probably best. I don't even really talk to brothers about the scriptures. It only one or two times I've done it, and every single time. Let me get the scripture before I go off. Because what I really realize is when you start going into the scriptures, it's like the demons in these people can't deal with it. Hebrews 4:12, for the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So you go into the scriptures, you can see exactly what kind of mindset Jake is in, because it says you're not supposed to be a thief, you're supposed to work, but you don't work and you're a thief. So scripturally speaking, you're not even qualified to say you're a man, because first off, a man is somebody who follows the Lord. So you're not even a man based on that, and in a worldly sense, you're not even a man based on that, because you don't work and you steal, but yet you have morals. You can't make this stuff up. And the guy said I was emotional, and when like when he said whatever to me, I said, cool, all right, cool, done. You're talking about how you want to meet up, and if I want to come and see you tomorrow and I want to do whatever to you. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, bro, you're sending me a long text. I thought it was just done. And I'm going back and forth with this guy because I truly don't hate him. I truly don't hate my people unless they've done something to me. But even then, and the guy's like, you're emotional, you're double-minded. And I'm looking at this guy like, bro, you actually realize how much of a hypocrite you are? And I've actually broken down how he's a hypocrite and all the things that he's done. And he's like, he didn't answer it. And anyone that knows, if you deal with a woman and you actually go point by point by what they've done, women never answer it. You as a man, if a woman goes point by point by what you've done, it's like you can say, okay, you're right on this, you're wrong on that, you're right on this, you're so on this one. I realize when you deal with certain kind of people, they don't acknowledge their fault. They don't even acknowledge what you say, because if they do that, then they actually realize they're wrong. And here the man said, I can't admit I'm wrong and just apologize. These times you said the Bible was bullshit. You wouldn't dare say that to a Muslim man, but because I believe in the scriptures, I believe in the Bible, you feel like you can disrespect it, and me and you are gonna be buddy buddy, because that's the whole vibe of Christianity. And let me just get this. This is the vibe of Christianity. You know, this is the whole vibe that people think, you know, Christians are supposed to be in. This bull crap right here. Look at this woman. You know, you got a woman
If you're
preacher.
going back to school, before you submit your
These
essays,
adverts.
run it through Grammarly to quickly check for spelling, punctuation, or...
He said, not only that, but look at here. Look. I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rat. You name it.
She just said hogs, dogs, rabbits. And she's a pastor. Now anyone who reads the scriptures knows those are abominable foods and you're not meant to eat that. Yeah, man, I can't wait for the Lord to return, man. I really can't deal with these people, man. It's like you're vexed daily, you know, and people are pretty much in the spirit of Lot's wife saying, you know, curse the Lord and die. You know, if that's how you feel, if you're vexed constantly, you know, with dealing with these wicked people, they're basically saying, okay, well, if that's the case, you don't have to be here, man. You know, just curse your Lord. You know, screw your Lord, screw what you believe in, you know, and basically die. All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, double honors to the elders and apostles of Jim, who well shalom to the elect.